Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Planet Coaster series here with our new park, Thrillville, as we get ready to begin on a new section to the park. Essentially, it's going to be the opposite side of what we were working on to try to start really the path work and the direction flow of the park going around a basic center area. Still don't know what's going to be in the center, but we're going as, you know, we don't really plan too much about it. We like to go with the flow for the most part. Here we are extending the park over into this side. Going to be putting in an employee building, but we're also going to be putting in a B&M inverted coaster, right? Now, we got to get to this side. You know what I mean? So where the question that you have to ask yourself is, what's the best way to kind of get over there? And essentially what we will start doing is taking it off in the same kind of path direction that we did on the other side. You know, basically the 33-foot wide path, which is what, 10 meters, give or take. Take that path and kind of put it out and around on those sides there, so that way, you know, we can get everything kind of flowing smooth and matching up as far as it being the same size. We'll be able to kind of cover some things up with the path work, kind of the directions, but also with some of the potters and stuff like that we'll definitely be putting in, and the planters that we'll be putting into the path work to kind of give it some sort of directional flow instead of it just being kind of a straight 90-degree angle. But first, we got to get something that I think people will need coming into a park, right? One thing I've never heard of anybody doing is complaining about the number of restrooms inside of a theme park. So the good part here is what we ended up doing, building a little restroom stall. That's all this is. Now we are going to put in some TMTK vending machines and so forth, but pretty much all it is just some restrooms, a little restroom hub, if you will, so that way that we can, you know, for the most part, just give people a place to go to the restroom. Once you go in, generally, the easiest thing to do, let's hit up the restroom, then we'll deal with going to figuring out what rides we want to go to. Do we want to get something to drink, that type of stuff. Now, we are also going to have a locker section that's not going to be built right now in this episode. It kind of gets planned out a little bit. I'm not sure if I cut that out or not. I may have actually cut that. But we are going to have a locker area that we are going to build, locker rental, pretty much right next to this section. And here I'm just kind of screwing with this piece in the wood roofing. And I'm not sure if it's because I should have lifted those up a little bit more, but they seem to fit like this, which is a big thing for me. So that's kind of what we were going with in this part. But overall, I think we do get it to kind of work pretty smoothly with it. I did get nervous about the height there, and I couldn't remember what the character people were that a lot of people put down for peep height, so I just put the cursor on one of their heads. Since we opened the park on the other side and kind of drug it down over here. And it seemed to match up pretty decent. You know, I can't complain. Can't complain at all. So yeah, that's kind of how we got that figured out. Now we are going to put some fencing and stuff up along in there just to make it seem more like an official kind of building, give or take. But this is pretty much just a basic kind of restroom building. There's nothing too extravagant about it. We will be putting up some of the TV screens there, mainly just to have pictures of the park. Although I think what I am going to do, though, is put up some, I got to get some different ride pictures, right? So I'm going to have to go through off camera to do those. But I think once we get the different ride pictures, it'll start to look pretty decent, putting that up there and kind of bring the whole area together. I think overall should be pretty nice to kind of have those, not really as advertisements, but that's basically what they would be. So we are going to finish getting this building put together. It doesn't take all that much longer to kind of get this thing laid out. And then we are going to start on our B&M invert. Now, during the live stream, kind of came up with the theory behind it of being more of a, if I want to say theming-wise, it's going to be probably more of a themed around, I guess I would say, like pythons or cobras or vipers or something. Basically, something snake oriented is kind of what we're going with here. So that's kind of how we're doing. I'm putting in just as ride signs for the other rides on the other side until I get them made up for this one. That's really kind of why those are there. But I figure with these kind of screens, we'll just start putting up pictures, either the ride signs or other photos from the rides on the side of the park that, you know, these buildings are at. Kind of how advertisements work, right? So that's kind of what we're going to do. It's just those are the only ones I have now, so that's what we got put in. And then here we are getting to the construction of the B&M invert. Want to have a lot of inversions in it. Want to be able to kind of get it mixed going. In this, it's a smaller little area than what it looks, to tell you the truth. But I think we do a pretty decent job of getting it to fit in there. Now, I do have the extra long station because I want to have a couple different trains, but I don't want to have to deal with the stupid block brake sections like I had to before. So that's why we went with the extended station housing. So I'm going to go ahead and drop off here for just a minute while we get into building this coaster, and I will check in with y'all here in a little while, everybody. So I will be back soon. Hey everybody, I am back as we have got the coaster design and layout kind of built in. Some of the planting and tree work going around, giving it kind of a jungle-esque type of feel, because you're going to get more pythons and anaconda type stuff in a jungle setting. It's, you'll get rattlers in the desert, but this is more for a cobra python type theming, I guess you could say. So here we are working on the station building. And this that you see right here, this little box, is going to be the exit building, so it's not going to be as extravagant or as extensive as Professor Chaos. But it is going to have the little picture booth, along with maybe just a few of the TMTK items as far as the rides go. So we are working on the station house here, and whenever we go with the Python kind of theming and the wooded, what I'm thinking of, or at least what I imagine with this building, is going to be more of the kind of like a wooden shack out in the jungle, right? So we're not gonna finish the overall decorations on the building and stuff. I'll wait probably till the next live stream to get that done. But that's kind of what we're going with here. So it is going to be primarily wood. We are going to start putting some of the vines and stuff like that on it, and so forth. So all of that is going to kind of get in and flow in there together a little bit as we kind of get this stuff going. Now, I put those wooden wall pieces, little 1 meter ones, just for measurement purposes. I will go in and take them back out, but I had to have them in there just so I could kind of measure things out with the support beams. And this station house doesn't really change, I would say. We do add to it because we kind of extend it out above, the final little entrance walkway and pathwork section for the exit. So we do kind of extend it out in that sense, right? So it's one of these things. We kind of go back and forth. We make some changes on it. Do a lot of what you're seeing with some of the single pieces is doing a little bit of measuring instead of moving them all en masse at one time. That's kind of the theory behind it. Use the tool, use the pieces that you got available to measure for you. You know what I mean? Now, what's funny with this, because we extend it out on the side over there, is the dead center of the roofing doesn't match up with the actual coaster path or the coaster track. It's kind of offset a little bit, but that doesn't really bother me. I kind of like how it turns out. Getting this station house, for the most part, completely built. Like I said, not decorated, but it is built, that we're completing here. Now, for those of y'all that are wondering, yes, we do have a POV ride coming up here at the end of the episode, so definitely stay tuned for that as we go. Now, this, like I said, I did a lot of pre-measuring so we could raise pieces up. There are some obviously forgotten ones that go in. That's just the way of life. Nature happens that way. You forget little things like that as we put some of these support beams across. So we are definitely going to have to kind of finish out some of that design on it. Like I said, all this stuff was done in a live stream, and this stream on Twitch took about 2 hours to build. The restroom, the coaster, and the station building. And I wasn't really planning on doing the station building in this episode, but figured, what the hell, might as well give it a shot, you know what I mean? So we started, and I really do like how this thing came together. I think overall the elements truly work for what we're going with as far as a kind of a snake themed, ride, essentially. The way it comes out with having the wood beams, the way we're going to put some of the ivy on the outside. It's one of those things where you can actually picture it looking decent and making some sense. So, got that going for us, you know what I mean? That's a positive. And so here we're just working on some final, the little decorations. Essentially, like I said, it's one of these things that doesn't completely match up as well, as directly as it should. So we do some kind of goofy stuff here with the woodwork. But once you kind of make it match the other side, you can kind of say, you know what, it kind of works. Not too shabby, actually. Not too shabby at all. The way it kind of goes across. Although that's more, as I look at it, looks more like little spider legs going. Ooh, had an opportunity. I guess we could still call this thing arachnophobia. Nah, I'm sticking with my original gut instinct of going with the reptile snake themed. I guess you consider snakes reptiles, right? For some reason, I'm just blanking on like what section of a zoo are they in. And they always have their own little housing thing that I think just goes by snakes. But that's kind of what we're thinking here, as far as this stuff goes. So here we are, just kind of moving some of those support beams all the way across, and then we're gonna finish this up here in the next minute or two. And like I said, it's not completely done. We still got more work to do. So just keep that in mind as we go and as we build. This thing isn't done yet. It'll, like I said, probably be 100% completed with the exit building and all as of the next live stream. So definitely stay tuned for this. We've got the POV coming up in just about 1 minute here. And I'm going to go ahead and hop off and let y'all enjoy that POV without my lovely voice to distract you from the experience of it all. And I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody. So like I said before, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit it already, give us a thumbs up if you're definitely excited about these coasters that we're putting in and how the park is coming along. Let me know of any comments, in the comments of any ride name ideas or ride suggestion ideas. Always open to it. That's kind of how we got the invert going, was because of the comment section. So definitely thank y'all for participating in that. And let's kind of help build this park all together. And I will see y'all in the next episode, everybody. So like I said, stay tuned for the POV coming up in just under around a minute or so. But I will see y'all in the next one, everybody. So as always, stay safe and well. Y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.